We're back, folks. Just waiting for things to kick in here. I gotta mute my YouTube channel.
Oh, Bubba's a mess right now. You're a mess, babe.
Let's see if this works. I think we're okay.
Okay.
So those notifications go out.
Just paper towel.
Hi, Laura.
Oh,
Hi, Annalie.
hello again, everyone. Sorry about that. We had to rush. It was going to start pouring any minute, and the lightning was really freaking me out. So we are inside now. Bubba's on the ground. Hey, you could see him in the mirror, actually.
Oh, yeah. Hey, let us know if you can hear the AC, if it bugs you guys at all.
All right. Well, we'll leave it on for now, but we can turn that off. So that got a little scary, I think. Corey wasn't scared, but
The window shut. I'm just checking. Shut.
I don't know. So we've moved inside to his office. Oh, it's pouring already. I think we made it just in time. But yeah, we were weighing before the show whether to do it inside or out. And we decided on outside because the radar, it wasn't 100% that it was going to storm, but that was a good one. And we need it. So we'll enjoy the dousing. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, someone asked if Bubba gets freaked out by thunderstorms. Okay, Corey's got to put some windows up, so it's just gonna be me rambling. Go ahead for a minute. Bubba does not get freaked out by storms. I got a little freaked out there because that was really quite close, and I don't know why, it just was starting to get worrisome. So I'm actually going to switch from my Diet Coke to a little seltzer drink here. But Corey's just closing his car windows really quick. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I was talking about, there was a question about a dog that continued to have scooting after getting their anal glands expressed. And again, I would just have them expressed one more time just to see. I mean, maybe they weren't completely emptied. But I would, if you had it done at, say, a groomer or a non-veterinary setting, then just have it done at the vet's office and just say that, hey, he's still scooting. So you want attention paid to, what's going on. Sometimes we know just by how things look when the fluid comes out, if there's a deeper problem that needs to be addressed. Ways to try to help, like home remedies for dogs that have a lot of scooting or anal gland issues. Adding fiber to their diet can be helpful with that. So gosh, you can do that with certain foods that are high in fiber, or there are actual like fiber supplements that you can sprinkle on their food. But yeah, fiber can be helpful just by increasing the volume of the stool. We're getting the anal gland stuff out of the way. So, oh, you're soaked.
All right, so I gotta change.
Look at your tiara.
I'll be right back.
Your tiara wilted. Oh my God, it's raining that hard.
It is a monsoon.
You don't need to shower. Oh my God, you guys, he's soaked. Wow. Anyway, there was one other question about anal glands, but I don't know if I can find it. And I don't want to mess things up. I'm just trying to see if I can find it, but without Corey here, I don't think I can. Someone else had just asked about, if that's an issue that needs consistent care. A lot of dogs will go their whole lifetime without having anal gland issues. So I don't usually say that you have to set up a regular interval for, having them expressed. I'm sorry, guys, I'm messing around. I messed up Corey's computer. Here we go. Okay. So no, I wouldn't automatically start a regular schedule on that. If they're scooting or having consistent problems, then yes, at that point, sometimes we say to just bring them in at maybe it's every couple months. If they go for groomings, often the groomers will do that as part of the grooming, and that's perfectly fine. But again, a lot of dogs never have an issue with it. So if you've just adopted a puppy, you can certainly ask your veterinarian, but without having a specific reason, I wouldn't set up a regular schedule of expressions. So Corey is still changing. I'm going to try to go through the live chat a little bit without getting too distracted. Oh, I messed it up. Sorry. Hello again, everybody. Yes, thank you, Dorothy Lynn. I'm glad we're inside and safe as well, because I got a little nervous there. Yeah, Libra lady, we were rushing. So the neighbors that were saying hi to us were, laughing at us, but we got everything in. Oh, and we need to send some rain to Dallas, Texas. Yeah, Marby, we've had major drought conditions to the point where they restricted watering of lawns and you weren't allowed to have like fires or actual, any type of thing that would cause a flame outside. So this rain is much needed here as well. And Christian's saying that too. So yeah, I think it's just been kind of dry everywhere, to be honest. But yeah, we're glad to have some rain.
It's raining
Not for you to get
sideways,
stuck
like
in it, though.
windswept monsoon.
Oh, how'd you
So-
drop that off so fast? Luckily, we have another tiara. Yeah.
All right, kids.
So,
Man,
I got a little caught up.
why didn't the neighbors give us a bigger warning?
Well, they said 3 minutes. They were correct. I'm doing something wrong. With when I go to the live chat, sorry, I'm talking to Corey, guys, but the picture goes off when I click on the live chat. So I'm doing something wrong, but, you're welcome, Christian. I like doing this. The last two episodes, the first two shows we did, I think it was more like very much question and answer, maybe a little dry if you didn't have an animal or, we're not quite as, freewheeling as some of your Annette shows, but we're having more fun this time and still trying to impart information as well.
Did you put something in your drink?
Yes, I told everybody I went and got a seltzer because my nerves are a little shot.
All right, hold on.
So-
I'm digging up the other questions here. man.
Right. I was trying to find that, but I think I did
Wait, did we-
cover the anal gland one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, but let's look at it.
No, I got it
So
here.
no, but there was, I talked about that one, but then Teresa Garcia through email or comments before, I'll read it. What, you took it off? Okay, I think I did get most of this. So Teresa Garcia said, I have 2 sibling rescue 6-year-old female and male Chihuahua border collie mixed dogs. How often should we get their anal glands expressed to prevent infection? I realize that you can see them rubbing their bums on the rugs or licking that area and know there's a problem, right? However, can you recommend how often we should get this done? Are certain breeds more prone to have that area get inflamed? And she loves Bubba. So I covered most of that, Teresa, but breeds that can be prone to it, I find it's more common in small breed dogs. That's just a generality. It can happen in any dog and it can happen in cats as well, but generally smaller. And again, I don't think that you need to set up a regular schedule for your dog unless they are showing issues. If it's something that the groomer offers with their appointments, you can certainly have it done then. But I personally don't think that you need to set up regular schedules unless there's been a demonstrated issue. So we did answer. And let's not talk about anal glands anymore because we're gonna.
I'm at the mercy of the people.
Yeah.
Mar.
Well, we try to confine the gross stuff to a small segment, which we did.
Well, people appreciating Bubba. Da. Thanks, Carol. Happy. Yeah, thanks for all the thumbs up.
Wildflower Wind found it interesting that we got monsoon rain. What would have been more interesting is if we stayed out there for the show.
We cut off just in time. That came so
Oh
fast.
my God. And Corey would have lost his computer.
Yeah,
So,
that has happened before.
but I'm glad you found it interesting. So people are going to get this show is going to be split into 2.
Yeah, that was full scramble mode right
Yeah,
there.
that's
But-
fine. That's fine. This part will be just a few more questions and then the cake.
Oh, yeah. So if you have questions for Meredith Fireway, I have a couple other ones here too. And if you're just popping in, hi, I'm Corey. This is the Good Doctor. And she's answering questions about your pets or animals in general, whatever works for you. But this week we're going to be talking to a hypnotherapist, Linda Sabo again. The Annette show is back on for Wednesday evening. However, we are expecting bad weather. So we have to figure out how we're going to do it that night. We're also doing one of those shows at the Schooner Adventure.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
want to go
great.
on that. I told you.
That's awesome.
Can I be a crew member for that?
You can. We need help. So anyway, so there was that. So okay, here, let's get another question in. This is from Brenda Stevens. Sometime could you address the reason why dogs, what is this? A Bichon?
You have a Bichon,
Bichon.
year and a half old Bichon.
And it digs holes all over the yard. She has an Australian Shepherd sister, so she has plenty of entertainment and exercise. What possesses her? So all this hole digging.
Yeah. And it's great that she's got her sister friend and gets tons of exercise because yes, lack of entertainment can certainly cause a dog to do things like that, whether it's digging in the yard or digging in the furniture, tearing things up inside the house. It's probably just something that she enjoys doing, to be honest. I know we've dealt with that with Bella.
Okay.
And
She would just dig the same hole.
yeah, she got really far down too. She was impressive. But it's probably just really a behavior they enjoy doing, Brenda. So stopping them from it, I mean, if you see it in action, just try to redirect to some other type of activity that's less destructive. If it's just kind of, you know, I guess if they're digging up your garden beds or causing, mud or issues in the yard, then you certainly would want to stop it. But if it's just that they're doing a little bit of digging and not causing an issue, I might just let them enjoy it, since it seems like something they really want to do. But just continue with the other exercise, and her sister friend is great. Certain dogs enjoy certain things, and it's really hard to break them of it. But if it's causing a major problem, again, redirecting when they start doing it, just, have a redirect to a toy or something else that they can be doing instead. And then you just keeping a close eye, keeping a watch, and because you're going to have to repeat that over and over again. That's always my spiel with behavioral stuff. Try to catch them doing the thing that you don't want them to do, correct it, and then show them something that you would rather have them do instead, and do that about 1,000 times. And
Thanks.
that might fix it.
Thanks for the birthday wishes, Carol Daly and Ladybug. Welcome, welcome. Bubba's going to have cake. Actually, Meredith's going to have cake soon.
You keep saying this. Bubba's going to have some as well.
All right. You do what you have to do. Do you want this other question, Mer, from
Yeah, we have one more question. Go ahead.
Cynthia Fest? Let's see. There's the question here. We had a client once
It's more of
who
a comment than a
whose
question.
pet would not go to the bathroom outside, seemed almost afraid. She was crying and couldn't deal anymore. So she tried a nutraceutical composure pro. And she said a week later, he started going outside to the bathroom.
That's great.
So can you just explain what the hell that meant?
Right. So someone just had commented, it was more of a comment than a question, because in the first two shows, we talked about behavioral issues and training and housebreaking. And this Cynthia was giving some advice there, which was to use, there's a nutraceutical. So everyone knows what a pharmaceutical is. That would be a prescription drug. Nutraceuticals would be more of a natural type of product that you can usually buy over the counter. And I think she had called it Composure Pro. I don't know that specific one. And with nutraceuticals, they're not, regulated or you're prescribed by a veterinarian. So I don't know that particular one, but Cynthia just wanted to give that information to the people who were in the last episode struggling with housebreaking.
And Mary is asking a follow-up. Maybe the B show is looking
Bichon.
for Bichon is looking for
That could be Mary. I definitely found that with Bella when she was digging, because of course the earth underneath is always cooler than what's on top. Bubba would not Bubba, Jack, our chocolate lab, loved finding cool spots to lie down. So yeah, I agree. They could be digging to get into a cooler spot underneath the earth.
Smart. Let's see. Justin's mom. Hi, Justin's mom. How do I get my rescue cat to relax in a carrier for going to the groomer? Curtis gets so scared when my son has to put him into the carrier.
Yeah. And we have a lot of, you're talking about going to the groomer, but we have a lot of, gosh, it happened this week where the person has an appointment with their cat and we get that frantic phone call about 10 minutes beforehand. Hey, I can't catch them. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cancel, or what can I do? Honestly, by that time, when the cat's already probably run under the bed and is frantic and you're chasing them around with a carrier, we usually just say, we're going to cancel the appointment, we'll reschedule it. And then we give the advice to try to make it less stressful next time. So you are not alone with your cat not wanting to get into the carrier. When you think about it, I mean, the only time the cat gets into the carrier for the most part is to go somewhere they probably don't want to go. So the vet, the groomer, maybe to a boarding facility, or if you're moving, which is very stressful. So when you have something coming up that they need to get into the carrier, put the carrier out a few days in advance and try to give them treats in it. And don't close it or anything. Just, if it's a top lid or front opening, just put treats in there, let them go in and get them and come right back out. Let them do it on their own. You're not even paying attention. Just put the treats in and let them hopefully see it as a fun place that they get food. And then you're not just taking it out the morning of or the day before this bad thing is going to happen and trying to shove them into it. So that's step one. You can also use a product called Feel Away, which comes in a spray form. For this application, the spray is probably best. You could spray that in and around the carrier at that time. It's Feel Away, FELIWAY. And that's sold on Amazon or at pet stores. It's a very well-known product. It's a cat pheromone that's supposed to be kind of calming. I equate it to kind of like an aromatherapy for cats. So spray a couple pumps of that in and around the carrier. If we have a frightened cat that comes into the hospital, we'll spray that onto a towel and let them, use that for them to sit on or, have that in the room with them. And it does, I personally think it does help. If that doesn't do the trick, then you can always go the route of, we were just talking about nutraceuticals. There are nutraceuticals that can be calming for cats. Gosh, the one I use for dogs is called Rescue Remedy. I believe cats can use that as well, but you'll have to definitely please double check that first on the label or with the company. Again, 2 words, Rescue Remedy. If that is not good for cats, I apologize. I just can't remember that information off the top of my head. I've had a couple of sips of my seltzer. And then
The next monsoon tonight.
yeah, between the seltzer and the sugar high. Oh, so that, and then graduating beyond that, there are products that your veterinarian can prescribe you to give the cat that can calm them. We do have a number of cats who take something the night before and the morning of their appointment because they need that to have the stress brought down and the anxiety relief to get in the carrier and to be brought in. But that would be prescribed through your veterinarian. So those are the steps you can take. And then someone commented actually.
Yeah, Giselle commented catnip usually works for my cats. Libra
Yeah,
Lady.
catnip. Yep.
Libra Lady uses VetraScience composure treats for my cats.
Okay,
I
great.
spray the carrier, Capin, and Feel Away too.
Perfect.
Jane Harris loves the birthday crowns, and the cat spray really works.
Yeah. And thank you, Libra Lady. You said that your vet used Rescue Remedy for your cat. So thank you. I just wasn't sure because, cats and dogs, they definitely have different metabolisms or, they can't always take the same things. And then Mary followed up with, does catnip affect vet visits if a cat needs blood work? I can't think of any reason why it would, Mary. I probably would have to do a quick, confirmation on that, but no, catnip should not affect blood counts. I would just tell your vet that you gave some, but no, it shouldn't affect blood work. And then it might just, I will say though, catnip can have different effects in different cats. Some cats, it makes them really kind of wired. And then others, it calms them. So yes, catnip would be an option too, but just test it out in advance because it's not a guarantee that with any of these things, honestly, I would always test them out in advance just to make sure they have the correct effect.
Christian just saying, as the drinks keep flowing tonight, the veterinary advice may change. Cats love Capri Sun.
It definitely will, Christian.
Of course, every time, yeah.
So a tangent a little bit. So Corey can always tell when I've had a drink and we're not regular. We don't drink at home. When we go out and have drinks with friends, etc., we will, but neither one of us is the kind to have a glass of wine with dinner or, but he can always tell because my voice gets higher and I'm just more chatty.
Oh, you ready for this?
Oh Lord.
Are you ready to guess what Meredith's drinking nickname is?
Oh.
What do we call her when she drinks? We'll throw that out.
Who has a high pitched, loud voice and talks really fast and really loud or really just gets really chatty?
We'll reveal that shortly.
Yeah, actually, so you can make suggestions in the chat. I won't take offense, but I do have a nickname for when I drink.
Yeah.
I can already feel it. Like I don't know if it's because I'm still freaked out or it's because there's lightning, but my skin feels tingly.
Why did that freak you out?
I don't know. It was right there. You weren't looking at it.
It was right
It was
there.
right around the corner of the house. Our house is in an L shape, so it comes out and then over, and our deck is right in the nook of the L. And I was sitting where I could see it around the corner. You couldn't see it.
All right. Do you want to get this question from Mary?
Mhm.
Does catnip affect
Oh, I
vet
did. I
visits
talked
if a
about that.
cat? Oh, you do?
I
Okay.
did.
Let's see. Oh, how about this from Carol Daly? Corey, you brought up the other day questioning if we're enjoying all these shows, and my answer is yes.
Thank you.
You're doing great. I love to go back and even watch these shows again. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Tonight you got 2 shows.
Yeah.
Because we had to stop and start again.
Yep. We did that. Are you
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. Oh,
What?
Christian.
Oh, Montone
Christian
nails
wins.
it.
Wow.
Montone for the win. Yeah.
You're right.
We all
Minnie
call her
Mouse.
Minnie Mouse.
Yeah.
And that's been going on for years.
Oh, and Jane got it too. Good. You guys are smart. It's Minnie Mouse.
Geez, do we give away too much in the clues?
Madonna in 1985. I don't start, I don't
What?
start singing and writhing though. That would be Madonna in 1985. Karen from Will and Grace, that could be it too.
How about this one from Giselle? I heard that greyhounds can serve as blood donors. Is this true?
Really, yeah. Any dog can serve as a blood donor, Giselle. So greyhounds would be a good option just because they have really prominent veins, really easy to find. And their size means that they can donate a fair amount of blood. Our Bella, well, she actually was a blood donor when she was younger. So I was at work one day and a dog came in. I won't remember the specifics, but it had an issue where it required a transfusion. And Bella was at home peacefully sleeping. So do you remember this? I came home and got her. Dogs don't have as much of an issue with, you don't have to cross match. If a dog has never received a blood transfusion before, you don't have to worry about cross matching the way you do with a person. So their blood type does not matter on the first try. If a dog has already received a blood transfusion, then you have to be a little more careful. But I was able to, we live 30 seconds from the animal hospital I work at. So I drove home and got Bella, and she donated blood to that patient and the patient made it. So yeah, that was kind of our, felt good. And I honestly think she felt good too, because she got all sorts of love and treats afterwards. She did. You could feel the sense of, just, she liked being able to give back.
We're going to move this drink to the other
That's my
side of
Diet
the room.
Coke. That's my
Where the
Diet
hell's
Coke.
your real one?
Under here. I'm hiding it from you.
Jesus.
But yeah, greyhounds would be a good option. You can only donate a certain volume per pound though. So the larger breeds would tend to be better for blood donation.
There you have it. Let's see. Libra lady gets loopy on a third glass of wine. Yeah. Alcohol gives me a headache and makes me sleepy. I switched to kombucha.
I've tried kombucha. I don't think I could do that. I would probably have to add alcohol to it to be able to drink it. So that might defeat the purpose. But yeah, I used to have a pretty good tolerance and I don't anymore at all.
You don't.
I'm a cheap date, as they would say. Right, Corey?
Meredith goes from 0 to 60 in about 2 drinks and 60 to 0 in the next 2 sips.
Well, true. I'm surprised you said 2 drinks. Wow.
Well, 60. I said 0 to 60. 2 drinks.
Yeah.
60. Anyway, let's see. LB's house was hit by lightning a few years ago. Sparks were coming out of the plugs.
That's so scary. That could happen. That could happen to us.
That
lightning was close.
It was close. So what do we want to do here, Lockwood?
Should we do cake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you need your cake.
So Corey can talk for a little bit. I'm going to light the candles and get the cake going.
Yeah. If you want to sneak in another question or two from Meredith, that's fine. And like I said, I'll let you guys know about the hypnotherapist show, which was really good. I hope you guys got a lot of people. You watched that show actually, which was really good. Sort of an introduction to Linda and her change work and how and her approach. And I thought it was pretty fascinating. So we'll have more with her for sure. And then Annette and I are on for Wednesday. It's just a matter of where, because the weather does not look like it's going to cooperate, which means we would not be doing a side-by-side live from the schooner or from Bridge headquarters. So we'll just keep you posted on that community tab, I guess. But we're starting to get to the point now. I would think after daylight savings, where we'll kind of have a set schedule for shows during the week. Do you need to kill a light?
I don't know. We're not going to sing because you guys, the air conditioner's going to put them out. Here, I'm going to pass them in front of you.
Hold on, you're fine.
So we're not going to sing because neither one of us, you guys don't want to hear that.
Bubba already wants the cake.
Yeah, he went up and sniffed it. He sees the carrots on it. So here is our carrot cake for Bubba. I do not trust him to blow the candles out without eating them, so we're not going to make him blow them out, but we'll let him see. Happy birthday, Bubba.
But you don't lick it, you weirdo.
All right, we're going to blow these out.
Yeah, we don't have a sprinkler in here, do we?
We do not. Bubba, happy birthday.
All right, Bubs, breathe on that before Meredith eats. Oh, there's his head.
Oh, we have to see him. He can't wait to eat this. What are we doing? Why aren't we blowing?
I'm just thinking of how weird this all looks. All right.
It,
All
We're
right,
having
how about
fun.
you and
We're having
Bubba blow that out?
no, you help too.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go, Bubba.
All right, let's put it down. Put it down.
Put it up here, Mark, so I gotta get the microphone down.
Okay. Oh, we said it was going to be a different show tonight.
What an amazing, what a spectacle this is. It's Bubba's 10th birthday, folks. The party's just begun.
No.
We were dancing in the rain earlier, so.
So Corey loves an adult birthday party more than anything, and now he loves dog birthday parties even more.
Yeah.
Right, honey?
Let's see. Jane Harris has this, Mary. I would like to add this to the discussion. If your animal gets an infected bite that spread and causes tissue to slough
Yeah.
and leaves the area open, sprinkling sugar in the wound before you cover with, and it stops.
Okay. And
Does this make sense?
I understand what you're saying, Jane. Yes, there are certain honey and sugar can have wound healing properties, but of course, on a professional level, I would always, have to say that should be seen by a vet. I'm certainly not gonna, say that every open wound is gonna heal with that. I hope you understand. Or I can have a paper towel, please. So yeah, I wouldn't take that as, oh, if my animal has an open wound, I can do that instead of taking them in. It really should be seen. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the candles away from Bub. But by all means, I agree that sugar and honey can have wound healing properties. Okay, sorry, making a mess.
Keep talking.
Joanne said there are bars with many, many different kinds of alcohol kombucha. Now I'm intrigued now. Because I certainly did not like regular kombucha, Joanne. So
Okay.
LB's kids are ready for the carrot cake.
Mary, why do you love carrot cake so much?
I just do, honey. It's sweet. I'd rather have chocolate cake.
Hi, Rick. How you doing? I think Rick's up in Winnipeg.
As you know, but dogs can't have chocolate. So when there are
Everyone sang.
Oh, you guys sang? Oh, thank you guys. Corey and I are not, certainly.
I did all my singing this weekend.
I don't think you would have wanted to hear Corey sing, and you definitely wouldn't want to hear me sing.
Let's see. How about this from Val? My son's inside cat has a cyst. He Googles it for some info. Black liquid is coming out. He's calling for a vet appointment tomorrow, wondering what the vet will do. Thank you. So,
the black liquid is a little odd. Most cysts, the fluid is more like clear, like what would come out of a blister. Do you want some?
we're gonna have some here, yeah.
I took raisins out of this one, so I'm gonna give this one to Bub. And then I'm just gonna eat right off the tray. You ready? I'll come back to that question.
Hey, we gotta make him.
Oh, honey, I thought the thing was pointed down. He just one-timed that piece of cake. If you guys didn't see it, I apologize. I thought you knew.
There's a reflection.
Yeah. Oh, now he's licking the plate.
Yeah, this is weird. We're definitely too weird with our dog.
Agreed. I need another one.
Anyway,
Another.
black liquid's coming out of a cyst,
I
and
know,
you're
I'm
here
going
eating
back to
carrot
it.
cake.
Hey,
What do you want?
a paper towel. Never go to meals with a bunch of vets. They'll just talk about disgusting things all the time and you won't want to eat. But Corey's not bothered by it. So yeah, most of the time the fluid that would come out of a cyst would be, like I said, kind of blistery, like clear. It doesn't worry me that it's black. It's just a little odd. So the vet will they're going to want to feel it, of course, measure for the size of it, see if it is attached deeper or, if it's just kind of floating on the skin. They might take a sample from it. If it's all that black liquid, I don't know if they'll get a lot of information from it, but if there is a solid component to it, we can look at the cells under the microscope to see what it might be. But yeah, hopefully it's nothing. They can certainly have benign growths. The cysts are usually benign, meaning, non-cancerous, not necessarily worrisome. But yeah, they'll feel it. They'll probably they should do a full physical exam as well if the cat hasn't been in a while. And then maybe want to take a needle sample from it, depending on how their impression once they feel it.
So LB, you're commenting on the oars behind me. So
Okay.
This is from an artist named Sam Nigro. I'll spell it out for you.
I'm gonna eat my carrot cake while you do that.
And Sam, I can't hold this mirror style. I'm actually gonna have this upside down, okay? So just bear with me.
Don't hit me with it.
Actually, upside down is gonna suck. Try this.
Yeah, that's good.
So here's that. Now this is actually Stacy Boulevard in downtown Gloucester here. This is the drawbridge that leads out to that's Gloucester Harbor behind this boat. You see that little lighthouse and an island. It's 10-pound island back there. And that is the Annisquam River. So actually, pretty cool stuff, cool detail.
Did you say fisherman at the wheel?
Yep, in the paint factory. There's a schooner back there as well.
And that's fisherman's wives statue over here.
Yeah. So anyway, awesome stuff. And this guy's like a retired fishing captain. He was in the Army. He's in his 80s and he does that as a hobby. And it's like, it's awesome work. So I'm going to put his name here in case anyone is interested in looking him up. I actually did a video with him a couple of years ago. And it should be on this channel. So if you type in this guy's name, or you can copy and paste this.
That was a cool video.
There's that, but yeah, awesome stuff. I usually, so on my Facebook page, I make that the my banner photo sometimes. I could do that on the YouTube channel too, but
yeah.
Let's see.
I want to see. So Jane followed up. Jane, who had commented earlier on the sugar, said the vet suggested it. Where to go? You moved it, honey.
It does. I didn't move it.
Sorry, we're going back in the chat here. The comment was along the lines
Right
of the vet suggested it when it wouldn't heal with antibiotics. So yeah, that's wonderful, Jane. So under the guidance of a vet as a vet suggestion, perfect. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I just didn't want to make it seem like I was saying all open wounds could heal with sugar. It should be under the direction of a vet. So thank you.
Now with this from Martha Shavira, or Shavira, I'll say Shavira. Happy birthday to Bubba. Corey, my daughter's cat disappeared 2 weeks ago and it's been very heartbreaking. We put up signs, used neighborhood apps. Can you feel if she's still alive? So I will say one thing is we actually hear a lot of rescue stories about cats who are gone for weeks at a time, doing their own thing outside, and then they come home. Our neighbor's dog had a crazy story.
Yeah.
They're in Fiesta.
Yep. Our neighbor that was talking to us earlier, they live right next door. Their daughter lives downtown in Gloucester. So what, half a mile maybe? And she has a cute little chihuahua named Chanel. And Chanel decided that she did not like the fireworks that were going off during Fiesta, was at the daughter's house downtown, but she spends a lot of time at the parents' house. They watch her during the day. Poor little Chanel made her way after the fireworks went off from that house to the parents' house in about 15 minutes. And the daughter immediately posted on Facebook that Chanel got loose, helped find her. I happened to be home and was sitting on the couch, which looks directly at their staircase that goes up to their house. And, shortly after I saw this post, saw Chanel slowly climbing her way up those stairs. Well, actually, she tore up the stairs like a bat out of where. And so I commented back very quickly to Tiffany that, hey, she's at your parents' house. And so she just got spooked by the fireworks and decided to take a little run. But afterwards, then she had posted her on, there's a site called Cape Ann Lost Pets that lets people try to get reunited. And there were people citing her. So, she's in front of, I think the first one was the roast beef place. And then she was in front of Domino's. And so she would literally, people were seeing her on her way up here. So again, funny aside, but sorry, Martha, that's sad on in your case, because your cat hasn't come home yet. So certainly hope that they do. The signs and the neighborhood apps are great. Put in information at the vet's offices as well. If someone comes in with a cat that they say, I just adopted or found this cat. Sometimes people do it. They're doing it in a good Samaritan way. They think that the cat didn't have a home and they're going to give it a home, not realizing that it did. So put in word at your local vet's offices. If you have an animal shelter nearby to you there as well. I'm sure you've done all this, but just other things you can do, but beyond what you already have. If you have an animal control officer in your town, just alert them as well, so they can be on the lookout. I don't, we're not the psychics. So as far as a feeling whether they're still alive, cats are very resourceful. They will find, they're good at surviving and finding ways to get food and shelter. So I certainly am hopeful, but those are other resources you can use to try to get them back.
Yeah, fingers crossed, Martha. And if you're looking for like hyper local social media help, I would recommend Facebook. I'm sure your neighborhood has groups. Some are dedicated to finding lost pets. And that's usually where you get the most engagement for hyper local. So I would check that as well. But those are all good suggestions, Mayor. So thanks for that. So yeah, we're thinking about you, Martha. Hope everything works out okay. Christian, I sang Pour Some Sugar on Me back to back Friday and Saturday night, baby.
And that, of course, got the biggest applause from the crowd because you have the people who there were 4 bands at the concert. So it was Joan Jett, Poison, Motley Crue, and then Def Leppard. And a lot of the people were there to see Motley Crue for some bizarre reason. But the people that were there to see Motley Crue will definitely know Pour Some Sugar on Me. So that got a big, I think everyone in the place was singing that one,
That's
including
great.
Corey. Scream singing it in my ear.
We saw Billy Joel at Fenway a couple of years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And they performed Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Joe Elliott came out.
Yeah.
Because we did back-to-back concerts, but this 3 years ago was Billy Joel one night for me. And then Def Leppard on their own the next night for Corey. And because Def Leppard was in town, Joe Elliott actually came out with Billy Joel's band and did that song. It was great.
Erica has a question. What is telling me, we might be missing a word here, when my border collie started peeing on the floor in the house. She's 27, remember, and must now be an outside dog only.
Yeah. I think, oh yeah, you say she. I was going to say, I thought it was a female dog, but you said she. So it could be incontinence. Incontinence is fairly common in older females. They just lose the muscular ability to hold urine in. So if it's kind of just dribbling out when they're asleep, sometimes medication can help with that. I'd be a little cautious about meds in a dog that age. Not that these are dangerous types of medications, but we have to weigh the pros and cons. So if it's while she's fast asleep, maybe medication could help, Erica. But if it's more of just a behavioral that she knows it's happening and is on her own, urinating outside, then that's going to be urinating inside. That's going to be a little tougher because it might be more of like a senility kind of thing where she's just lost her housebreaking. So that's going to be tougher. As far as quality of life, I think that's what she was hinting at is, does it indicate an issue or is it telling her something more? And no, like, I don't consider that a quality of life issue for your dog, as long as, like, if it is leaking to the point that the urine is like staining her fur and causing infections on her back end, then that's a problem and a quality of life issue, but also potentially treatable. It's more the quality of life for the owner at that point, because that's not a very easy thing to keep a cleanly house. But transitioning more, spending more outdoor time, as long as the weather allows, is certainly fine if she's comfortable out there. But no, I don't think it's necessarily a quality of life issue for the dog.
Okay, well, thanks for the question, Erica. Jane is asking if you can talk about diagnosing and treating Lyme and company infections. You guys make a cute triple couple plus dog.
Thank you, Jane. Bubba, update wise, is digesting his cake over next to us and actually still staring at Corey's piece. I gave you a fork.
Yeah. I don't know if they can see this or not. Oh yeah.
That's Corey's piece right here. Oh, I'm not pointing at it, but Bubba is wondering if he's going to get that piece as well, which he just might.
It's possible.
Oh, and then actually, before we answer that question, Wildflower Wind said, can she wear a diaper? And that's in reference to Erica's dog. That's an option, Wildflower Wind. It's something that would have to be changed regularly, of course, because diapers are absorbent, they'll pull the urine away from the body, but there still would be some moisture there that could affect the skin. And then of course, when she does need to go number 2, you would want to take the diaper off. But yeah, that could be an option as well. Excuse me. So what was
Treating Lyme.
Lyme? Sorry.
Diagnosing and treating Lyme.
Like half a drink.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lyme, fairly easy to diagnose, Jane, in dogs, actually. In people, it can be a little more difficult, I think, just because a lot of doctors don't suspect it or have it. There's Corey's
Feeding
carrot cake.
people out there.
Lyme is not as kind of black and white in people as it is in dogs. It's usually, if you're in an area where Lyme can happen and a dog comes in with those symptoms, it's always the first thing in our minds versus a human doctor. It might not be the first thing that comes to mind, and the symptoms can be a little more subtle and varied. But in dogs, the symptoms are usually lethargy, and then often there can be swelling in the joints. So that would cause limping, and then it would be loss of appetite. And the lethargy is usually happening because they're running a fever. So if we have a dog come in with those symptoms and they have a little fever, we actually have an in-house blood test that it takes 4 drops of blood. The results are back in 15 minutes. And because we live in a Lyme endemic area, we run that test on dogs at their annual exams, because while I said that it's very obvious when a dog has symptoms, a lot of dogs, they're pre-symptomatic or they don't necessarily have the symptoms yet. And we want to catch the disease before it gets to that point, especially with Lyme, because it can, in worst cases, it can attack the kidneys. So we do that blood test as part of the yearly exam for dogs in our neck of the woods. It's a pretty high specificity test. We don't get a ton of false negatives from it. So it's really a very important test to have at our disposal. And then as far as the other question, I think was treatment. So that was diagnosis, and then co-infections. There are other tick infections that are diagnosed on that same test. There's anaplasma and Ehrlichia on that test. And then it does also check for heartworm, which is not tick related. That's a separate condition. But those would be the main co-infections that we see in this neck of the woods. The other tick infections that are more prevalent in other parts of the country, we don't have on that test. So that's when we would send a blood sample to our outside lab. So if a dog has traveled to other parts of the country, Rocky Mountain spotted fever is another tick infection that can happen, and that we would send to our outside lab. So the negative there is the results take a little longer, but still very straightforward testing. And then the treatment for most of these infections is an antibiotic called doxycycline. There are other antibiotics that can treat some of those infections as well, which we won't, I won't give you a list, but very treatable, very important to catch as early as possible in the case of Lyme. And then, it's depending on the part of the country you're in, because there's certain parts of the country that don't have ticks or don't have the deer tick, which is the specific one that transmits Lyme. So I think that was the whole question.
It was the whole answer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm babbling.
I'm teasing.
I'm not talking in a high voice yet, though.
No. Damon is asking if Bubba follows us around the house. Yeah, that's all he does. Is he follows me anywhere.
Follows Corey into the kitchen.
Yeah, he's following me right now.
Yeah. Don't care. So yeah, Bubba loves Corey because Corey's the one that gives him all kinds of food. Also teases him. But yeah, he does follow, definitely. He's a pretty lazy dog, I will say, but the times he gets up and follows are when Corey goes into the kitchen.
And he likes this. Slapping his water
Very
around.
odd. Yeah, he loves that.
Oh, not good boy.
You can see the look of happiness on his face. You can tell. He would let Corey do that for an hour.
All right.
We won't, but he would let him.
Bye, Bubs. He's weird. So anyway, let's scroll through. Oh, Damon, what does ASMR mean? Sharon just had a
I don't know what that
fudgesicle.
means either. Oh, yay, Sharon. Jane, so you also check for things like Bartonella and Ehrlichia. Ehrlichia, yes. Bartonella, no, that's not as, that we would have to go to an outside lab, a little less worrisome in this neck of the woods, but yeah, Bartonella would be another, that would require outside lab testing.
Good. Kristen, you're right about the strip club songs. Very good point. Molly Crew pretty much goes out with 3 strippers for their show, by the way.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Dogs eating crunchy food.
Bubs loves this stuff.
What does it stand for, Damon? Oh, autosensory memory reflex. Huh. I have no idea what that means.
Did you mean the relaxing, often sedative sensation that begins on the scalp and moves down the body?
Oh, Corey looked it up. Bub, that's my cake. Not happening. He's trying to get my last piece of carrot cake. He doesn't know what he's up against.
Liz, do you consider him to be a well-behaved dog?
I mean, once we learned what his triggers and problems were, we're able to control them a little better. And yes, I do. I love Bubba to, I love Bubba to pieces, but the barking gets me. So Corey doesn't mind when he barks. You guys hear it during Annette's shows. He'll bark at anybody that's walking on the street. It drives me insane because I listened to dogs barking at my work for so many years and I just don't like it. But that's his one thing that we just really haven't been able to stop.
Oh.
He's begging. He likes he likes the carrot cake. But yes, he is a well-behaved dog. He just, we'll just keep the camera on him. Give the people what they want. So.
Bubba is our only dog currently.
Yes.
We've always had dogs.
Yeah. When we took over Bubba's care, we had another dog named Bella, who was a Labrador Retriever Pit Bull mix. She passed away in 2020. She is the only dog that he has ever liked in our presence. They got along great. And I think the reason why I was saying earlier is they met out on a walk at his prior house. If we had just brought Bubba here, I don't think it would have been good. So that's an important thing when you're trying to introduce dogs to each other, do it in a neutral spot, like out on a walk. Because he immediately accepted her and she was leery of him just because of his size, but she was such a, chill dog in general that she was fine with him, just a little nervous, I think. But yeah.
Well,
we don't have another dog right now just because introducing them to him at this point could be a little bit tough.
Bella's also, was a lot smarter than Bubba too. So she could anticipate, like, she knew the sound of one of our vehicles if we were like 2 streets away. So she could alert him that we were coming home, or she knew to the minute when it was time for breakfast, a snack, or dinner. And so she just kind of followed her lead. She could always sniff out a coyote way away. She knew when the rabbits were coming out of the marsh. Like, she knew all that stuff. So then he just started following her lead everywhere. So that's where I think he,
he really did defer to her, which is amazing to me because with the other dogs that he's been around, he's the alpha.
He likes to dominate.
So I don't know. They had a really good connection. But I don't think we'll introduce another dog to the house at this point.
No.
So
Too much. And we have all this construction is going to be starting in our house too, so we can't
hopefully.
deal with that. Carol Daly's got a good question, Mara. What is the most unusual pet or animal you've ever treated?
Yeah, and I do mainly cats and dogs. The clinic I work at now does see a little bit of pocket pets, so rabbits, guinea pigs, hamsters, reptiles, birds as well. I prefer animals with fur. I'm just not great with reptiles and birds. I have a little bit of a, just fear of them. It's probably irrational, but just never been comfortable with birds or reptiles. But the most unusual, when I did my internship in West Los Angeles, we occasionally would have, a pet from a zoo come in. So gosh, it was 20 some years ago. So I don't know if it was a tiger or something like that, but I could have gone into zoo medicine if I wanted, but that was never a desire on my part. And then we do have, you know, again, snakes and that type of thing come into the clinic. I'm just not as much of a,
So what?
I
So what
can't.
was the weirdest one you worked on?
I would probably be that tiger.
Yeah.
This is bad. I should know this specifically, but I can't remember if it was a tiger or something. I'm pretty sure it was a tiger, but yeah. I
Cool.
mean, I know that's not exotic necessarily, but it's not something you see every day.
Did you say tiger?
Oh no. It was not Spot.
Come on.
It was not Spot the tiger.
People love Spot. Look at that guy.
Why are you? Oh, you I'm like, why are you not in the picture?
You gotta mess with these
Yeah,
backgrounds
yeah.
somehow. But anyway, preferences. Get rid of this. Do that. Heal
So
this.
LB said had Ehrlichia in 08, 3 days in the hospital, scary. So yeah, that's one thing with a lot of these. Actually, this is a good point to make. So all these tick infections I was mentioning, they can happen in people as well. I hope I don't misspeak on this. So Lyme, Anaplasma, and Ehrlichia, and Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever, those are the main 4 that I know, just because we can see all those in this area. You cannot get those from your dog. They're transmitted by the tick that you know, attaches to the dog or attaches to you. So important point to mention, because of course people can get these things, but you're not getting them from your pet. The ticks that your pet might bring into the house could be a problem, but just thought that was important to mention.
Nice,
There
nice.
are it's called zoonotic. There are zoonotic viruses, bacteria, parasites that can pass from your animal to you. We're not going to go there. I don't want to make a whole list, but those are not directly zoonotic.
Damon had a follow-up. Meredith, do you ever hear dogs barking in your head when it's totally quiet?
Oh, thankfully, no. That would be like a recurring nightmare kind of thing. I do have, the one nightmare I do have is after I do, if I do a dental cleaning on a patient that requires a lot of extractions, I'll often have a nightmare sometime during my sleep that all my teeth have fallen out. That's not a good one. I've told you about that one before, but no, I don't have the barking nightmare, thankfully.
Easier to treat, are dogs easier to treat than cats?
By and large, I'm going to say no on that, Damon. I find, are dogs easier to treat? Yeah, I changed. Sorry, I had it backwards. Yes, I find that dogs are easier to treat, but the reason for that is because dogs are more, again, generalization, more demonstrative with their symptoms. Cats, because they're a species that's preyed on, I find, want to hide their symptoms. So they don't let you know as easily as a dog does if they're not feeling well. Maybe they won't eat a little bit or, you know, something like that. But it's harder for me to tell when a cat is sick, especially with like a limping. Oh my gosh. The one piece of advice I will offer you, if your cat is limping and you want to have it checked out at your vet, try to get a video of it at home. And that goes for dogs too. Take a video of the limping at home that you can show your vet, because I'm not even kidding. 99% of the time that cat will not limp in the vet's office because their adrenaline gets going and they don't want to show the problem. So
You know what that sounds like to me?
tidbits of advice.
It sounds like when you have the same problem with your car and you don't go to the mechanic,
exactly.
and then the car starts working.
Yeah.
That's why one of the greatest things about the smartphones was the ability to take video. Because when I did have problems with my vehicles, I would record the sound or whatever,
Right.
and then I
Yeah.
would send it to the mechanic beforehand. That's a really good life hack right there.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I would find dogs easier to treat. I also am just a lot more comfortable with dogs than cats. My father was allergic to cats growing up. We never had one. So I just didn't develop that rapport or comfort level with cats. Over time working with them have it, but I'm just a dog person. I'll admit it. I'm a dog person. So, and cats also can fight medications off really easily. So a dog, if you want to prescribe it medication, you can probably do a tablet, a capsule, or a liquid, and they're going to take it for the most part. I know that's not 100%, but you can hide it in something, or they'll gobble it down on their food. Good luck with a cat. In cats, we really have to, play around with how there might be a medication that the cat really needs, and we have to figure out how the owner is going to be able to get it into that cat. So that's why, to me, dogs are easier.
Let's see some nice words here. Lily Girl, you two are so cute. Happy birthday to Bubba. Thanks, Lily
Thank you,
Girl.
Lily.
Jane asked if you knew of any new infections spreading that they should know about.
Oh, excuse me. So it's interesting, Jane. That's a great question. I think there probably are, because we'll have dogs come in that have every indication of Lyme. It's screaming at you that this dog has Lyme, and they test negative. So either they don't have it, or there's another virus out there that is very closely mimicking Lyme that we don't yet have a test for. And this is theoretical. I'm not, but yeah, I do wonder sometimes. And in those cases, what I would usually do is give a couple doses of doxycycline. Obviously we don't want to use antibiotics if we don't need to, but the nice thing with Lyme is if a dog has it, usually 1 or 2 doses of the antibiotic and they're back to normal. So if everything is telling us it's Lyme, but the test is negative, then I'll usually try the antibiotic, just, a couple doses. And then if they get better, we do the full course. So
there you have it. Christian's asking if we can ask Bubba psychic related questions.
Oh, Bubba, what do you think? How would he give them the answer though? Would it a pendulum? We need a pendulum.
Bubba's got a
His
really
tail?
thick skull. So usually when you ask him questions or you give him a command, you can just see him slowly absorb. It takes like 30 seconds before he actually moves and follows through on something.
Kind of like you.
It's true. So there is that. But yeah, fire away whatever you have for us.
Yeah, so Lily Girl said, my cats were elusive when they were sick. Dogs are much easier to read. Agree 100%, Lily Girl.
Erica's asking, how do the Liberty Mutual people train an ostrich for their commercials? Well, you know what? They've been looking at how huge the Geico campaign has been for the last 10 years. And they got themselves a little mascot too and ran with it.
So when
Limu Emu.
Yeah, exactly. Another side story. So Corey and I, we were just down in North Carolina and we went to a drive-through animal park. Where was that? In Mooresville, I think.
Mooresville, North Carolina.
I can't remember. Lazy Five, actually. No, I do remember the name of it. So you're in your car the whole time. You can put the windows down, and they had 700 animals of different species, one of which was a lot of emus. Those things are terrifying.
Okay, you freaked out. I thought they were funny.
Terrifying, because they're the height of your car window, and they'll come and they're staring at you, and they have crazy eyes.
They got crazy eyes.
Oh my God, the emus, terrified me.
You just think, here come that beak is coming right from my eyes.
I didn't like. I mean, they're kind of cute in a funny way, but man, and they did have ostrich as well.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, those things can run. LB, can cats get tick-borne viruses?
Oh gosh, I didn't even address that. So it is not proven that cats will get Lyme. So Lyme, the big ones that I know, Lyme, Anaplasma ehrlichia, we don't test cats for those on a yearly basis because, well, most cats don't go outdoors. That doesn't mean they can't get ticks. Cats can definitely get ticks, but cats are not proven to get those infections. So, my short answer would be no. That doesn't mean it won't change at some point, or that there's some other kind of weird reactions they can have to tick bites. But as far as like a cat getting a blood test for Lyme and testing positive, no, we don't see that.
There you have it, folks. So just, I guess, a few minutes left. You want to stay?
Yeah, let's say
wrap things
9.
up?
Yeah, that's 2 hours.
So anyway, just so you guys know, in case you're tuning in late or whatever, there'll be a new show with hypnotherapist Linda Sabo. Perhaps this week. I talk to her tomorrow morning and see what's up with that. Annette and I will be back with you Wednesday evening, but because of inclement weather, we're not sure if we're going to be able to do that side by side or not. So stay tuned for that. Either way, I would be going on for another live session to gather questions anyway. And then you guys can tell us when you want to do another show with Meredith. maybe you might want to cancel her. We don't know. We don't know.
Be nice.
We don't know.
Oh, why is everyone on your page so nice when you're so rude?
Oh, people love it. It's the yin and yang. Let's see what else could we have out here. People miss Spot.
Oh,
Spot's a big deal for us.
yeah, he is.
What kind of treats do you give Spot? What would you recommend for a tiger? I try to give Spot all the political the political tarot questions. I try to send over to Spot to absorb.
Yeah. Spot might eat an emu, actually.
Yeah, I can see that. Although Spot's pretty chill. He's been laying on that snow for months now.
Corey, can I have another bite of cake? I was just actually going to give Bubba another slice since I messed up and you guys didn't get to see him actually eat it. Are you
Here you go,
feed
folks.
him on a fork?
No, Joanne's asking if she can have a bite of your cake.
Okay. It's very good. I did remove all the visible raisins again, mainly because I like to eat.
Don't hog it all, Joanne.
So Lily Girl says, I've had 2 cats die from kidney failure. Is the root cause from feeding them dry food and or food from the grocery store? What fresh food have prevented that? Would fresh food have prevented that? Lily Girl, the causes of kidney failure in cats are so varied. I mean, there can be toxins that do that. Sometimes it's genetic, which is not preventable, unfortunately. There can be cancers that affect the kidneys and would cause kidney failure. So it's hard to give you a root cause, but no, I don't think it's from feeding them food from the grocery store. There are foods that have been recalled or taken off the market. Mostly dog foods, but definitely watch recall lists and, address any concerns there. And then just make sure the food is produced in the United States. So most of the foods that get recalled have been brought from China. Again, generality. We don't want to get the Chinese government on us, but yeah, just make sure they're produced in the US. Bubba really wants his cake, so I want to make sure I don't miss it this time. I'm going to can I turn this down?
No, it's already turned down.
Well, will you tip it down and we'll move just so you guys can see Bubba one time this piece of cake. I can't, I'm doing it wrong. All right, Mr. Bub, you ready?
All right, folks.
Wait. Bubba's getting his stop. Second piece of birthday cake. A little more. Oh my God. Yeah, you're good. Oh, that was a good one. Did you actually enjoy that, Bub?
All right.
Okay, you can put it back. Oh, that's gross. That plate is going straight to the dishwasher.
And that concludes Bubba's 10th birthday bash.
Corey, did you have fun?
Yeah, it was fun. It was good. It's always good seeing everybody hanging out with us. So there is that. And yeah, Bubba's tail also wags. It's in perpetual
maybe
motion.
That's how he can be a psychic when he wags his tail, but he actually wags his tail a lot. So
Yeah, all the time.
yeah, so he would always answer yes to whatever your question is.
Yeah. So let us know when you want another show with Meredith. I'll keep you posted on our schedule for the rest of the week. Thanks for all the birthday wishes and the kind words and the encouragement and support for this channel along the way too. It's been cool getting to know all of you, and you've gotten to know Meredith a little bit too in the last month or so. And you like it.
I do. This is fun. I like the people on your channel for the most part. There's been some odd, they've gotten the boot, but
that's why we have wrenches. So anyway, so thanks everyone for tuning in. As always, Anna Lee, Christian, Justin's mom. We love you guys and all the work you're doing for us. We really appreciate it. All the familiar names and faces and the newbies too. Thanks for all the booping and thumbs upping and subs and all that stuff as well. I'll keep you posted ASAP. A real easy way to see all of our latest stuff too is the newsletter. If you ever want to sign up for that, just email me at hello@bridgescapeband.com. We say that week after week after week. And then I'll keep you posted on any bigger news I have regarding the channel, such as the show from the schooner, the show from Hammond Castle. We're supposed to be doing the show with the animal shelter. And I'm working on, I think I'm actually shutting down from another job I have for 2 weeks in August to learn other stuff to start having the show produced.
yeah.
So
that
which
would be nice.
we need some help.
Because right now I'm not your producer, but I'm your fetch it girl.
We did a fetch it girl, yeah. Erica's asking what happened to Yoon. We don't know if Yoon does Sundays. I don't know if you know.
Well, it's also what? It's just 8 a.m. or 9 a.m.
It's a
now.
12-hour difference too. So we usually don't see her till after the 8 o'clock hour Eastern time, right? So 8 a.m. her time in Singapore. But she's been around. Actually, you emailed me like 5 different times last week
Oh yeah.
about different things. She wants me to do a couple different collaborations. So we'll see if anything comes out of that. But we saw all the kind words and comments and we
Yes,
really
thank you,
appreciate
everyone.
it. That was really cool. We'll keep you posted on this week. Either way, I'll probably be live on, I would think, Tuesday evening for questions for Annette. And then if Annette's got to be in her office, keep your fingers crossed that her Wi-Fi is okay, and we'll take it from there. So that's it. And Bubba, thanks you all as well.
Yes, he is now on the other side of Corey.
Yeah.
But thank you,
He's
everyone.
not doing this. Bub, you want to say goodnight? Bubs?
That's a 10-year-old Mastiff for you.
All right, no, yeah, you're done. All right, well, that good.
He wants you to do his neck again.
Right.
All right, everyone. Thank
There you
you.
All right, so there's go. All right, Bub, we'll see you. Bub, we'll see you in a minute, okay? You stand right there at his side, licking his lips.
Cheers.
So that's it. All right, good night, guys. We'll see you soon. Good job, Meredith.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Bubba.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta go. I gotta go put those clothes in the dryer.
Yeah. Good
So,
night.
Okay, good night, guys. Great seeing you. Adios for now.